Hey everyone, how you doing? You like my little sign? I took a little few minutes.
Well, look at you. Like she's got like colors and stuff, like really
These are my
artistic.
colors. I gotta show you. Look, I went and got these
Oh yeah.
different
Yep. I
colors
got
up
my
top.
bag.
But this, no, check this out. How cool is that? They're all different colors there, and then they're colors on the other side.
I I got some through the mail and I didn't realize, but they had smells to them, like scented, and I'm like, hell no, I don't want that shit.
I was gonna say, if you're acting a little funny, I'm gonna be knowing what you're doing.
Man, I don't want to know what like I don't know a berry melon freaking marker smells like. I'm okay.
Uh, yeah, the way I've been doing my stuff with my weight loss, I've been doing like intermittent fasting and then like watching, my carbs intake.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't need to be smelling something so that my insulin level goes up higher. And why aren't you losing weight now, Lynn?
Yeah. It's like all of a sudden, why do I want a cinnamon roll? Oh yeah, that's my marker.
Yeah, like I be pissed off. I'm like, that damn marker's keeping me fat. What do you
If
mean?
if it's anything like the different flavors of Jelly Bellies, I want to have no part of it. You know,
Yeah, some are good and some are bad, man.
I had a wedding I did in October. The actual couple had a Bean Boozle themed dinner kissing activity because that's where their first date was, and in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And hey, Ray, good morning.
Hi, Ray.
And the stipulate or the way that they would kiss is very simple. If you and you don't get a choice of what the jelly beans are, but they're in those little packets, and
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to take out one in front of everybody and start chewing it. And if you're faced in cringe or get really ugly, they would kiss. But if it did, well, then everybody would boo you. So it was it was fun to see like, oh, that one was earwax or that one was poop or whatever it
Oh,
was.
gross. Hi,
Exactly.
Jerry.
Hey,
So
Jerry.
so glad you're here. Hi, Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, so it's just it's funny. I was like, oh man, I gotta order something to get my I did Walmart yesterday and you had to have $35 and I saw the markers. I'm like, oh, that's just like perfect. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't draw. My penmanship's not that great, but you know what? I'm gonna
Well,
have fun with
all
that.
we
And
all we do
Scott's
is we need
here.
Scott's here, lip lock. And thank you, Scott, for reaching out to me on Facebook. I'm going to check out your podcast on Saturday, I think it is. So,
Yes.
isn't it interesting? Like the little things as we get older, the little things like are more amusing than ever before. Like where we could be amused by freaking scented markers.
Well, like I said, I ain't going for the scented markers, man, because I
No, I
swear.
sent those bad boys back. I'm like,
Uh,
hey,
but
you know,
I'm serious. Like I'm losing weight and everything, and like I for me, I found the science for me because everybody's different, right? And so I'm really anal about like going over my carbs or the fact that when I do a fast, I do intermittent fasting. I literally just drink water, nothing else.
mhm.
And people mess up with their intermittent fasting because they'll add like uh, sweeteners or they add cream or they do something and it's like no, it's only coffee that's black
Coffee.
or water and that's it. And so I'm like, oh man. So the big thing is that you can't have your insulin raised. So like if you do your mouthwash then or you chew any gum, you're breaking your fast because you're uh, putting a spike in your insulin, right? So when you say these markers, if they're scented, and I get the juices going for that scented, I'm like, I could just get fat for smelling markers. Oh hell no, I'm not taking that chance.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if we're using markers at a gauge, if I'm a fun person to be around, markers are not the way to do that. You know, so,
So I just thought that was so funny. Anyways, now
yeah.
that
So
we've been
welcome. Thanks everybody. Day number 4 of You Do You, and yeah, we're gonna have a hearty discussion about people and tribes. So like your peeps and where you need to be with who you need to
and,
be with.
and Brian, look at we've got about 10 people showing up right now that are regular peeps.
Woo!
And are we not
Thank you.
freaking happy to have these guys here?
Coffee cheers. Coffee
So
cheers.
yeah, it don't take a lot to excite you guys.
Oh God, no, absolutely not, Jerry.
You're right, Jerry. You're right.
I'm glad you saw that because yeah, that is 100% true. I mean, we get amused by markers or people tying their shoes or something very monotonous. Yes.
But you know what? That's just it. People miss the little things in life that can be the big thing in life. Like just the simplest things to realize. It's so easy to notice shallow people compared to great people,
Yep.
and people that are what their intentions and what they're not intentions. And how do you find it? Because they're different than what everybody else is doing.
Oh yeah. And it blows my doors off about how easy that is, where over my over my years of how do you do that or whatever, I'm like, I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
It's like I have some magic pill or something. I'm like, I'm just being real. Like when I step up on an improv stage, which I'm getting back into because of the pandemic, they didn't offer classes. And it seemed like every place that did improv, they didn't do virtual improv because for one reason or another. But they're like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because it's healthy and I love doing it.
Yeah.
It's you can make every excuse in the book. You can find out every fear tactic known to man of what's going to hold you back. And yeah, Lynn gets her juices flowing 100%. Yeah.
Oh, and Heather's here. Hi, Heather. Oh,
Hey,
this
Heather.
is our different Heather.
We're gonna have to send Lynn like a bunch of oranges or something, like fresh squeezed juice. Like why do I got a case of oranges here?
Well, with this topic today, your people and your tribe emerge. I'm going to say there is going to be no wet wood here today.
No.
Because that's just it. It's finding people that it makes that fire grow, that bonfire within yourself and around you, and it ignites. And then even after the fire's gone, I mean, everybody disperse, everybody's taking that fire with them, Yeah. It's really exciting to say that when you do, and we say in general, just let go of those people. Sometimes you can't let go of them. Family, kids, those kind of obligations.
Yeah. Lip lock.
Yeah, you got obligations. But even in those times, just realize that you have the ability to do you and find you another little tribe down the road, like most people do. There's many places you can find people that are, like good example, you might be in work and you might be miserable there, but it only take that one person at work or that one thing that you do that's going to help you find the people that are going to, enjoy you for being who you are.
I think when I think of this whole topic, one word that comes to mind is quirkiness. And the reason why it comes to mind is because everybody has stuff that they're dealing with. Some people have health issues. Some people, have had horrible things happen to them in life, right?
Yeah.
They don't use it. They don't let it get them down, but it's like, we all have our quirks. And it's like, I can't be around groups of people that do not want to address the elephant in the room, or they want to feel like they're superficial.
Yeah.
I can't be in a room like that. It makes me want to just leave because nobody's perfect. Everybody puts on their pants the same way, period.
Which, by the way, I just want to mention about Ray real quick. He made a little video yesterday. It was like a minute long.
Yep.
And for his eyes, he had a crappy day.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, though, that what was really nice, Brian, is even though he had a crappy day, he remembered that, we're there for him.
Absolutely.
Christopher Rausch is there for him. Scott Goyette. There's many people there for him. And he's trying to find his way in life, and Ray, just take it one step at a time. Everyone here loves you. Just be you, but, and know your boundaries, but people are going to respect you. And,
Ray, to be fully honest with you, is that right before the show, I had a little anxiety rushing through me because it's like, we're all making commitments to do this show. You as visitors, and viewers along with us to create the content and be with all of you. And it's just like, for me, when I work, I want to work for a couple hours at a time, take a little break, right? This up and down roller coaster doesn't work well for me. Like if I want to focus and I want to be in the state of flow. And so I fully get where you're at. But what I do in those moments, because I just had one, is that I'll take a nap. I'll go for a walk. I'll read a couple pages in an inspiring book just to calm my heart rate down.
Yeah, but he can't take a nap while we're on the show. So don't say that. No,
Well,
just
no,
kidding.
but
I'm being funny. I'm being funny, Brian.
is
Relax.
Ray, consider reading a couple pages in a book. Is that whenever you acknowledge mentally by your heart rate or whatever those manifestations are, whenever you realize that you're having something that's taking over, don't get me wrong. I don't know what's going on inside of you or what's going on up in here, but I can relate because it happens to me too. Now, is that it's not always easy, but the moment will pass. Now, do you want to just survive the moment, or do you want to create a structure in place that's your go-to? Like for me, and I learned this from Mel Robbins, who wrote the 5-second rule, and she's an amazing person, is that if you can't sleep at night, one of the best things to do is get out of that environment. So in your bedroom, go somewhere else and start reading. Grab a blanket, get a comfy pillow, and read a couple pages in a book. And I guarantee, as you settle in and you get a little deeper in the couch, you're going to fall right back asleep.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking you to consider is a couple pages in an inspiring book, right? Get your mind totally off of what you're going through and then redirect.
What I do is I turn on the TV and I'll be darned, especially something I really would want to watch. Put it in. Oh, give her 10 minutes. She's done. Yeah. And I don't like having a TV, so I put the timer on, so it will be off. But I kid you not. I think everybody knows that about me.
And here's the thing, Ray. The one thing that everybody that I know that has ever been through things, the more you fight it, the longer it lasts.
Yeah. Yeah. And
absolutely, Ray. Thank you. You're very welcome. We're here for you. We support you. And yeah. And I mean, even maybe the best thing that you're doing is what you're already doing is by going live on video, right? Because that's not everybody's solution, but for you to be vulnerable and transparent that here's me in my current state, not everybody will do it that way. Right. So kudos to you.
Well, you definitely have to change a switch when you realize you're going in that self-sabotaging, this is woo-woo me. You need to say that shit ain't working. What can work then? Because you need to ask yourself, what's going to work? Okay, I know what's going on, but you need to change that. Whatever it is, you need to change that thought, or you're going to stay down that rabbit hole. It's just, but acknowledge it. Say, oh, right now I feel like whatever and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm switching it.
Correct.
That's creeping it. And now I'm switching it.
And it's like, Ray, in my opinion, and I learned this in therapy and other things, is that there's levels of this. Is that kudos to you for acknowledging it. That's a big thing because you're not in denial anymore about it. Right. Number two is that finding ways, of which we're talking about here, is ways to divert that or to minimize it or to lower it. Number three is how quick you can rebound from that. How quick you can turn that around and be like, okay, I have this self-sabotaging moment. Boom, I'm redirecting. And how quick can I get at that?
And doing you means, sometimes if you get out of your own way and you go decide, how can I help somebody that's feeling miserable? Because right now I'm changing my thought. I'm changing my way of going to find somebody that I can help somehow. Whether I can give out some tips. So, I mean, even if you search on Google, and he likes to go search Google, trust me, that I do know. Even if you search Google something new and then go Facebook Live, say, you know what I just learned about today? You're getting out of your own way. It truly is okay, I'm in this funk. I need to do something to get out of my way because, we're like the weather. We change all the time. Just wait a few minutes and, things will change. I mean, you could be feeling like that because you're hungry. You could feel like that because you just got bad news. But I mean, when you realize, hey, I've gotten bad news before. I've gotten this, and that. I mean, we have all been through things that we realize, oh, wow, we survived that and we could survive it again. So it definitely is, one of those things where we're realizing that, we don't need to be stuck where we think we need to be.
Correct.
And so,
but the only one way that you will stay stuck is to do nothing. If anything, it's going to give you the reverse. It's going to give you the reverse result.
Right. Well, continuing to think of what you're thinking is just going to bring more of that. And so you got to do that. Yeah. Like if you don't do nothing, it's definitely going to get worse.
Well, and it has to be dramatic. because your brain is going to pull you just to survive the moment. That's what here in our evolution. And this is not that kind of discussion, but what is our amygdala meant to do? It's meant to keep us alive, to fight or flight, right? That's all it's meant to do. And so if we do nothing, guess what? We're going to have what we always have, and that's right here and right now. So the only way to disrupt that is to do something literally entirely different. So you're using a different part of your brain.
So, it's funny. I was on, we've got this summit thing with StreamYard, and I was listening to some things that they said there. Seth Godin, who's written who's written several books and whatnot. 20. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Okay. You're defending him. He's not here, but yeah, he's written a few books, and he wrote about a purple book too, or something that he did, or something that came in a purple cow that came with this book was being delivered. It was really cool. But he goes, here, you have to live to fail and leave space. He goes, we can create a lot of possibilities, but I love how he talks about making purpose. Finding purpose of the people you have around. What's the purpose of your laughter? Or are you going to stay around the people that just keep you in misery? I mean, that's just ain't going to do nothing for you. Nope. So you want people to come back to you that, I mean, we all don't need to be alike, but we can all stir it within ourselves to like, wow, that's something to think about. Mm-hmm. And, it really is nice that when you are true to yourself and you're actually naturally breathing at your space and finding the same people that are in the same energy and frequency. And it's awesome.
Well, when you're around people that are in your tribe, they don't deflect. They want to help. Right.
Yeah.
So back to the topic, surround yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's like surrounding yourself, but also contribute to, make it a well-rounded system, right?
Right.
Because there's either givers or takers.
Right.
And anybody that I know that has a strong tribe, like that I surround myself with, they're selfless givers, right? Just like we talked about yesterday about selfless contribution, is that they give and give and give. And it's like, I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend this morning, is that I'm not good at receiving gratitude, because I just give and give and give, and I don't expect anything in return. But from even my therapist has said, it's like, Brian, you can't have the law of reciprocity in place if you give and don't receive. It's not complete then.
Yeah, and I had issues with that, but Jerry's right here, and I was going to say that, and Jerry took it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Jerry says, actually, you need to surround yourself with people at a higher level and have the talents. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you're the smartest person in the room, you need a different room type of thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is you need to have enough energy to be able to go down and bring those people up with you and share that energy and hold the space. And I've been learning to hold more space to bring people up, in the sense that, because it's just like if you're in great energy and you're trying to help somebody and you get whooped into their story, all of a sudden it can trigger back to you, your own story, your own misery, and you're not even helping one another.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's truly, you need to be in a good place in order to be around people that motivate you, inspire you, and have you go to that higher space. Like I said, AKA Jerry said here, no wet wood. My case is closed.
I would say the talents, the mindset, the belief, they've been through life, maybe on a deeper level, or they went through some more severe things like bankruptcy, or whatever that is that they can speak to. I don't necessarily think it's depending on what it is. I mean, even somebody that's more positive than you, right? Where it's like, they're not going to allow you to slide, right?
No.
They're going to be neutral or above versus like maybe neutral at best.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always have to be about, it doesn't always have to be about like whatever your thing is, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about wealth. It doesn't have to be about money. It can be about like, wow, that person is really positive.
Yeah.
It can be about something that you just want more of.
I just keep laughing because I keep thinking of all the freaking bullet points of shit I've been through in my life. And come Sunday, it'll be 20 years ago that we lost everything in a house fire. We were gone 15 minutes, the house. And then I was back in an hour, and everything was just like no more, you know. And so you know, that was a traumatic thing to go through. And then to go do inventory in your house and being able to see every nail in the board in your house is all freaking creepy and shit. I mean, that was a time of my life. I mean, it was like I think what 2 years before that we had filed bankruptcy. So I mean, like,
Wow.
yeah, like, you know, I could laugh about this shit now, but sometimes I go back and I think, man, you know, all the things we had and all the things we lost. I'm like, you know, it just wasn't meant. I mean, you realize how materialistic we become. We realize how you know, as long as you have your life, everything's possible, you know, losing your life. I think by then I saw death store like 4 times, 5 times before that. So, I mean, you know, um, some
It's
go
not a
ahead.
matter of the number of bullets, rather the number of times you made yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I just got to write the book down because I don't go around talking about all the things I've been through in you know, my life to make it such a resume
Mhm.
about all that stuff because I'm past all that. So when I see somebody, I'm like, okay, we need to change your mind. We need to whatever, because this is like, and you know, we love performing arts. So I have to say this. This is like performing arts. That scenery, that play, that shit's over. We're in a new scene now. We gotta get going, you know? And it's just like you have no time to dwell on all that other stuff. And it just so you
Well,
know,
I
it
mean,
just reminds me, I'm gonna make a small ass, short ass book to get those bullet points out of the way. Here, you want to know about that? Read it and let's move on, you
I
know?
mean, for anybody that okay, Scott says you're the only constant in your life, so build more you and less of the fleeting things. Yeah, I mean, the
Absolutely.
fleeting things are. I mean, they have a potential of being fleeting all the time of every day.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
matter of how you perceive them and if they bounce off or if they actually do something. I remember in improv classes, right? You want to talk about a bunch of weird people that most people are
Oh
not going to
shit.
want to see, right?
Oh shit.
So we need to get Lynn to write and stop talking about doing it, make it happen. We need to. Oh,
Now my
wow!
shit's being called out.
I
I
have
know,
to check my
but
notes,
Jerry,
but it's
in
about
all
a month
defense,
ago.
I called
When,
myself out today because I just realized that, you know, I'm gonna do a short ass book because, and then Scott reminds me, I'm used to saying change the scenery because, you know, now this house I've been in for 20, it's gonna be 25 years this September, and I've lived 25 years in New York where my life, I mean, I moved a lot of shit there. I've had stability over here, you know, with lots of travel. But that's what I'm saying. I've just learned that, look, you know, and I love to travel. So I'm like, look, change the scenery, change the scenery. And I guess that's why I've just taken that ability to now Lynn is the target. Yeah, I realize that. But I'm
yeah.
like, you know, so I'll have to write another book to make the first book better or whatever,
So
whatever. But I'll get on there, Jerry. I'm
so
on it.
Jerry, I have a question for you. Is it okay for me to do what Lynn did to me a couple weeks ago with you helping?
No, 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 because I've been on my ass for a long time.
Brian Solid. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I was going to mention that Jerry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He butt dialed me twice yesterday, but it was fun. Is there was a lady that he sent me a link to get in touch with her. Man, was that webinar just amazing! Like it was my
That's
heart
awesome.
was out. It was like she was touching my heart in terms of how I think and
That's awesome.
the power of writing a book.
No, yeah, I've been convicting myself for a long time, but the more I do this show and the more I have been helping people, and I, like I said, I have 3 paying people for coaching. It just it's one of those things where, you know what? I'm tired of talking about my stories or finding times that I have to bring it up. I'm like, I've got to just put it out on paper, and you know, and I think what I love doing. I love being mysterious sometimes. Well, all the time. I love the mystique of things. So I think even if I half-ass write a book and leave everybody waiting for the whole big story, that's going to be better. So that's what I'm going to do.
So lip lock, Scott, is Lynn mysterious? Please confirm or deny that for all of us.
Oh, you know what? I spent a lot of years talking to, or not talking to him, so he doesn't really know me. But wait, here let's see what he says
I
here.
teach improv to people. Oh wow, that's awesome, Scott. It's an amazing release for them. I think more people, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I deal with mental health, with anxiety, depression, and I think that there's some brain damage from my near-death car accident. That it just
It's brain injury, not damage.
or brain
Yeah,
injury,
I'm just
and after, without even knowing it or whatever, I realized that by doing improv is very healthy because it allows you to just decompress and be in a safe haven versus just
absolutely.
everything firing it all at the same time. So kudos
Yeah.
to you, Scott.
Oh, I know, Scott. I just like, yeah. So again, this is just egg in my face, so to speak, in a good way. That I'm like, Lynn. So trust me, my intuition's like, bitch, you're gonna put this stuff down, and you're gonna. I'm like, okay, because I'm gonna do something. It's matter of fact, I don't know. I might even have a book before I damn leave Billings, Montana. Damn it.
Who's going to hold you accountable to that?
Oh, I got myself because I just said it out here.
Uh,
I'm gonna.
you and you and Jerry tag team on me. No, that's a
No, but you don't understand. I get it, but thanks for sharing openly.
absolutely,
But
Scott. Nice.
no, Scott just triggered in my head that like I don't talk much about how going to different schools, and not only different schools, you guys. 6th grade, I started with both parents. 7th grade, I was with my mother. 8th grade, I was half with my mother. My mother left us. My principal didn't even know. We could have had our kids. I could have been in foster care had everyone known that my mom had left me with my brothers and sisters. And then I finally had to tell my dad. He came by for a Sunday to take us to church and said, she's gone. She's taken all her stuff. We're here by ourselves. And then my dad took us. So I spent not only just moving in town with just one parent. I started out with both, started with my mother and then my dad. I mean, my mother hid us from my dad even. Okay. Yep. And then I moved over to my dad's into another different school district. I mean, I finished out. The only good thing my parents did was let us finish the school system out for that year. And then we moved on to another one. So, I mean, there was no constant in my life. It was just constant chaos. Because then by the time I've moved with my dad and my dad thought he was going to beat me, I ended up moving with a friend's family for 3 months. So, I mean, those are things I don't speak about, but I can tell you had a huge impact on just trying to be and trying to just survive and trying to that's why I loved harmonizing with people in general, because it was easier that way than to fight my way through to have a space,
Mm-hmm.
Give us a date. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jerry. Fist bump. Thank you. Thank you for backing me up.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. I gotta let me see.
No. Someday is not a definitive date.
Oh, but you wait a second. Whoa. If I'm giving it a date, is Brian giving a date too?
I'm working on it.
That's not a date. I just declared this right now, and you want a date like right now?
Jerry's the one that brought it up.
Well, but I was bringing it up for you.
Does that seat get a little warm? Because my seat was about 4 weeks ago.
No, it's going to really be a short book. I mean, shoot, it'd probably be about 150 pages or something. Ken Walls is about 150 pages. I could do that. Let's see. I'm going to take the challenge to myself. Except for just getting my cover of my book, I still have to figure that shit out. Talk is cheap. Yep, action was required. So you know what? It's just a matter of putting all these little bullet points together. Shit, I'm gonna say this is gonna go out by I just got whiplashes.
There's so much backtracking.
Oh, I love it. You don't understand though. I love a challenge. So you know what? I will say, you know what? Oh shit. Okay. I think Memorial Weekend is the 29th. And I'm leaving like the day after. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm going to publish it Memorial Day. So I'm going to probably try to put it in the publishers on Friday. So I will submit it. I'm hoping that with the weekend and how they upload stuff, because they do take 2 days for them to give you permission to upload it. But I'm going to push it so that by the time I'm on the road June 1st, my book is on Amazon. Yeah, that's it. That's
Hey,
it.
so Scott, I know we can't see each other, but let's like mimic whiplash.
I can do the chicken neck, even though I've got herniated discs in my neck. I still got that shit.
I can do the chicken. Heck, that's not the same thing.
Well, no, for
Whiplash.
me, no, you don't understand. That would give me whiplash because I have herniated discs in my neck.
Oh,
So that's enough whiplash. Chicken neck, they'll do it for me.
very, very good.
Anyways, oh, let me go. I have a very good
Hey, by the way, guess who our special guest is next Friday to just kind of
yeah, Jerry is. And you know, it's funny because I am definitely going to now, mind you guys, because I said this like off the cuff, gave it a date, Memorial Day, June 1st, when I'm traveling, I will say this, that I'm giving myself permission to write and to actually concentrate and give myself some dates to get to different places, including maybe getting an editor and blah, blah, blah. But I will say this. I will say that I'm giving myself permission to off the cuff write about these different topics really quick. And then I'm also going to give permission to myself to say it might not be all polished my first time, but I'm making a commitment to have this book out so that you guys do have, if you care to get the book, you will have a little bit of highlights. And the fact that I'll be glad to say that when the times come and I say, well, it's in my book, I can say it's in my book instead of actually going back into, 20 years ago, I had a house fire or this or that, or this or that. I'll be able to say, I went through that and it's in my book, and I will be able to release having to talk about it. And I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's a done deal. It's shit. The shit's done. It's real. So, okay, now for your people and your tribe emerging,
let's spend the rest of the show talking about like qualities or traits of what would make that possible.
What makes it possible? It's just like you and I,
because we both come from different experiences, but when you find your tribe, regardless of what it took or whatever. But I'm sure that there are things that show up.
Oh, well, before we go there, he goes, I'm an editor if you need it. I can do the cover design. That's not a problem if you need it. It's just that I'm dyslexic, so I definitely would need you to read it.
No, you can't say it.
Yeah, and you can't say it's in the course. Jerry, I freaking love you. So if you're offering to be my quick editor, I would really appreciate that, because that is a concern, because but thank you. And yes, thank you. But let's take Jerry, for example. I mean, Jerry is somebody that I just loved his energy. I've known a lot of people like Jerry in my life that meant something to me. And Jerry doesn't even know that till me speaking right now. Right. But I will say that Jerry is somebody that reminds me of many special people in my life. So I think that's why I fell in love with Jerry at first, because I could just feel his spirit. I just know who he is. And it was such an honor to do a show with him on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to replay that this coming week, just so everybody can see who Jerry is on my thing. So what I'm saying is that it's those people that, are there. Jerry just doesn't show you his resume of who he is. He's just there. Yep. And it's just being around people that are there. I mean, Jerry, even after that interview, him and his wife were like, Lynn, anything you ever need, I'm here. And it's like, that meant so much to me. But it was like, this is so funny he's watching, because I would rather he didn't know I was watching. So I'm going to act like Jerry's not right here. But I got to say that, to me, that is so priceless, that it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't ever want to ask anything for Jerry, but just to know that Jerry's there for me is all I ever needed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to call that card in, because it's just knowing he's there. And I have many people, just knowing they're there for me has made a big difference in my life. And I know that that's what I love being in other people. So when I'm there helping other people and giving value, it's because it's the Jerrys of the world. It's the people that have been there for me. One year I wanted to go to New York, and my car was too old, and I was really worried with 3 girls traveling. I had a neighbor who worked for Ford Motor Company, and he worked in Michigan, but he lived here, and his wife lived here. Okay, for 3 years he had, I think it was a 2000 back. Wow, this is back in, I don't know what year it was, but he had a brand new, only had 1,275 mile 3-year-old Ford Expedition that had every feature you can imagine on it, right? That sat in his driveway. And he's like, Lynn, I want you to take this so that I know you are safe with your kids and stuff. Like, that's a lot of responsibility. He goes, Lynn, he goes, I'd be disappointed if you don't have somebody steal that car, take that car. I don't care what happens to that car. I want you and your girls to be safe and take that car. And we took it. And I'm like, but the mileage. He goes, Lynn, when you come back, he goes, I need you to drive it as much as possible. He goes, we need to turn it in. He goes, in 3 years old with 1,275, people are going to think there's something wrong with it. So you need to drive it. But again, it's one of those things where, I was just in awe that somebody would do that for me and my girls, And I mean, what I'm saying is, when people love being around you and I give value back and vice versa, it's just so nice to know that it's not, oh, well, if you do this for me, you're going to owe me for this, or there's no hidden agenda to anything. I would always help his wife with the computer and all these different things. And my kids would go over there and clean the house. I mean, we did a lot with this family. It's just that there's no scoreboards in relationships.
Right.
And I love those relationships where you're just being. And that's what you talk about, being around people, a tribe. When it's there's no conflict, there's no energy resistance. It just feels really good.
There's no judgments. There's no, I mean, there's no judgments. You don't feel like you have to fit yourself in a box, right? Like that's so, those take me back to like all my networking days and, these business card exchanges and different things where you'd meet at this one bar in a little room, and it'd be like a 2-hour deal. And it just seems so contrived, like some people would show up for like 10 minutes because all they have time to do is just spread their business cards and leave. And it's just like, okay, your stuff's going in the garbage because immediately you've told me that you don't have time for this, And so no judgments. I mean, I remember countless times where it's like, I'd be laughing my butt off, or I'd almost be crying, and we'd be the loudest people in the group. And it's like, I'm not apologizing for being me.
Yeah.
And, I know some people were turned off by that, and it's just like, well, oh well.
Yeah.
Am I here to conform, or am I here to be myself? Which one is it?
Well, you can't be around people, definitely, that all of a sudden you're upset because you are being yourself.
Right.
That's a big freaking flag.
Right.
Hey, I was having a freaking good time and you came along, and now I got to be mad that I was just being myself. Nah.
Or I'm not wearing a suit and tie, or I'm not like, trying to, I don't know, like, oh my God, my appearance is everything, but my personality stinks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, you're just an empty suit, as one of my mentors would say. It just doesn't work. It's the whole deal. It's not one thing. It's all of it. It's your whole entire package. Just like when you get a new phone or a new device, it's like it's the whole packaging if it's of a certain manufacturer.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna upload what I posted today.
Oh.
Because it's just like, this is how I feel about that. I mean, here we go. It's gonna update. Like this.
There we go. Being you is being happy, being the best you possibly can be for yourself. Yeah, I mean, anything that you do, you're doing it for you first, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like one of my exes told me, and it really made sense. I mean, I knew it, but it really made sense. She goes, I don't need you, but I want you.
Right. Absolutely. That's it's
Same thing. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for myself and where I'm at in my life. I'm not doing it for your
exactly.
agreement or your understanding.
And that's just it. A relationship to me is a relationship that I'm not codependent on that person at all.
Hmm.
We just know how to exist, and we know how to exist really, really well. So that's, and that's why I love my Mr. Liplock guy there. I mean, like
Ah!
we know we can exist and do our own thing, and yet there's so much when we do talk, and I'm like we're just really good friends, but that's how every relationship should be. Like just being that, just knowing and just being is like it's that's not easy to find anymore,
Right.
that kind of thing. And in life, and it's like life should be just that easy. There's just too many freaking wet wood to which one to get out of there to get the right one connected. I mean, it just really comes down to that.
I mean, if like you're in those groups where it's like you're perceived like an outcast because you go around and talk to everybody, but all the networking books will tell you that spend the most time with the people you know the least.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
single one of them will say that. But it's like everybody conforms and they go back to the same people, and then they wonder why where it was a very unsuccessful event.
yeah.
So Julie says, exactly, be yourself and your tribe will find you because they draw off your energy. And
Yeah.
and here's the thing. Oh, Julie goes on to say, exactly, sometimes your tribe finds you. Is that who needs to play games with their mind and people that are truly there for them versus somebody that's trying to get something from you?
Yeah.
Nobody needs to play those freaking games with yourself or have them played upon you.
And you know what? If you remember the first 20 minutes you and I talked, Brian, we were like, okay, this is cut and dry. We were like being cut and dry. Let's get to the chase with each other. Like we looked at each other like we should do a show. you know?
I remember the first time you reached out to me, you're like, hey, because you saw some of my posts in the group,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're like, so we should probably talk. I don't know anything about you.
yeah,
Okay, cool. So what's your deal? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
It
cut
was
right to the
just
chase here.
yeah, it was just great. It was just really great. So again, it's that's how it works. It going into the territories of exploring with no idea of any outcome, having no set expectations. Because when you have expectations, man, you're going to be let down every time.
Yep.
I mean, I truly like to have no expectation. I mean, the one expectation I have is that it's going to be fun and I'm open to whatever, I mean, the expectation I have for myself is not to make judgments before I should make a judgment. Don't think something's shitty before it, because it's gonna smell like shit if it don't look like shit. I mean,
Exactly.
you know.
Right.
So, and Jules says,
And remember, you have the right to who you choose to have.
yeah,
Absolutely. Like,
absolutely.
it blows
That's
my doors off where it's just like once somebody brings somebody in their tribe and it's just like all they do is complain about them or they want to bring them down a notch because it's like what they don't like about them overpowers what they do like about them. And it's like, man, you're taking so much of your mental real estate for things. And I've done it.
yeah,
I've done it over and over again with my mastermind group and people. And you can't force people to be somebody that they don't want to be.
yeah,
Right? Life doesn't work that way. And it's like I'm working through it every day. Even my mentor said to me, it's like, Brian, everybody's on their own path.
yep, yeah,
Those words couldn't have been more accurate in terms of like, hey, um, take all of your energy and put it on you and where you're going and let them go where they go.
right. And like I said, and also I've heard of some people be really super good friends, Brian, after they met. And because I love to ask people this, I don't know, I don't know what you do with your couples, but the couples I've dealt with or worked with or anything, I always say, how did you guys meet? And sometimes you'll even hear, and I mean, we're talking, these are couples that are madly in love, happy and everything. They say, when I met him, I couldn't stand the bitch. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't stand it was an asshole, or we didn't get along, or I mean, there are those stories. And you know what? What I love is the fact that sometimes it goes to show the fact that when you meet somebody, first impression that isn't always the best impression. First impression could have nothing to do with It's after time, getting to know people. And that is what I love when I see that. My analogy of when I hear people tell me that is that they are open-minded people, not closed-minded. Because when I hear that, that tells me they're open-minded. Because obviously, who the hell spends time with somebody that they can't stand? A
Boom,
lot of people do.
boom, boom,
But
boom, boom,
but
boom.
eventually they can learn to either love each other or realize that they took their first impression or their assumptions, and or they realize that they became open-minded. Oh, and the guy in the hot seat tomorrow is just arrived. Hi,
Woo!
Larry.
Larry, Mr.
Don't
Casey is in the
expect
hot seat.
don't expect me to say your name that often. Okay.
Often. Often.
I'll call him Casey and I won't have to say
Oh,
Larry.
Larry.
Stop. Anyways.
Larry.
Shut up.
This is not on you, Larry. I just wanted to.
He's picking up my
With the
accent.
Long Island to bring it out of
Archie, leave me alone over there.
Archie, leave me alone. I love when the integrity of somebody is not what but that's their cover.
Mm-hmm.
I love flushing that out.
Yeah.
I love it. Like if you get a phone call from somebody that says that it's not a sales call, but then it really is. I love when they're like, it feels like they dropped the phone or hung up on you because you snuff it out, right? It's like, don't play coy with me. What's this all about, right? Got my helmet and duct tape ready. Oh, hey, Larry, if you can, prior to the show, could you take a picture of that and send that to us so we know exactly what we're dealing with tomorrow? Could you do that for us? That'd be awesome.
Actually, if he sends that to me before 3:00 Eastern time today, I may put that as his feature picture. Who's attending?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Larry, can you?
Larry,
we need your picture or something like that.
If send me a picture of
my ice pack. My ice pack.
Yeah, Larry, please send me a picture because this will be hilarious. We'll probably get the most people ever watching because of that picture.
I can't wait, Tracy. Absolutely. Lynn and I don't have any idea what we're in for, so this is going to be awesome.
No, and that's just great. That's how it should be with people. You realize that, people come and go in our lives and they all have reasons and seasons, but your tribe are people that you don't even have to see every day. Jerry and Cheryl and Brian, Scott, Larry, Jules, so many people are in my tribe and we have different times and life is busy and we get going, whatever, but it's just when our hearts and our spirits and our time is connected together, especially even in this hour that we spend together, mm-hmm. It's so priceless. We hope that our goofiness and our silliness and all that, reflects, but there's no resistance.
In my opinion, some of the best relationships in a tribe or whatever are the ones that are paybacks are hell. I never get mad. I get even.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds like a little Rambo, like,
You know what's really cool? Oh my gosh, I have to get that book ready. Gosh, I might even have to get it ready before that because I am planning to be in the area with Tammy Storm, hopefully. Larry, hopefully, will be there. Sandy, and hopefully Kim and me.
Wow,
like that could be like my book party. I might have to even do this book faster.
Might be.
Oh my gosh!
Publisher
and drop all the books. Man, you guys are really getting my booty on fire here. My booty on fire goes on for tomorrow.
That might be a bad choice of words, Lynn. We'll see what.
Oh my God, what's this?
The lip lock Arians try. Wow, Scott, kudos to you, man. That was cool. The timing could have not been better. Look at Lynn's face. Look at her face. Oh my God, Scott, that's fantastic. Look at her face. TMI. Oh my God, Scott. She goes, my butt's getting a little hot and then lip lock Larian. Woo! Look at her. She's going to cry.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, Scott says breathe. Breathe, Lynn.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, just make sure you reach for the Kleenex, not the Pinnacle bottle. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. So kudos to everybody for creating this moment, because we've always had a contest going on to see, when I can get Lynn. There it is. There's the Pinnacle Whip vodka. And that stuff will start fermenting again because she hasn't drank any in so long.
That's a pinnacle moment. Haha.
Oh my God. We should have let that moment breathe a little longer.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, Tom. Okay, Scott. Okay, everybody. Anyways.
Oh, she's flustered. So anyhow, what I will say is that the quickest I've ever got her to get flustered and to breathe heavy and whatnot is backstage. But next to that one, this has been like where she's totally just down for the count for a minute or so.
I'm so glad our show. Oh, look, our show is almost over.
Oh, come on. We can't go out like that. We just created that great moment.
No, but seriously, man, like I'm thinking, holy shit, now I'm going to have to do this before Memorial.
Yeah.
Like I'm really seriously like shit.
And here's the quiz, and it's only one question. Who has a good memory that's watching us?
I'm going to make that deadline. That's all I got to say. Shit. Shoot.
Okay, to that one person that's watching, and we know who he is, Larry, or not Larry, this person, that by what Lynn just said, that she's on the clock.
Yeah, I am on the clock, damn it. Okay.
Sis, whatever it takes to lose. Oh my God, Jules, right there.
My side is hurting.
Look at her. She's cleaning out her sinuses. Yeah, yes, Jerry. Yep. The gauntlet has been laid down, so to speak.
Oh man. Well, it's pretty bad, or it's pretty funny that I'm beating my own ass, but then I got Jerry on my back. I don't know. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So yeah, he says he has an editor, so that's good to know. I'll have to check that out. Like I just have to get these other things in place to make sure that I've been mapping my stuff out. I just haven't been writing it out. Now,
and thanks to Scott, we created a new tribe just out of this conversation today. So
oh man, all I can say is I'm glad that I'm done with the Yellowstone series, because like now I have this to replace it with.
I'm blown away that you haven't watched it yet until recently.
Well,
thank God for duct tape. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna have to. Hey, Larry.
We don't edit
real life. No, that is true. Is Larry, when you submit that photo of all the props you're gonna have with you, when you send that to Lynn today, I can't wait to see it, so we know what we're dealing with tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! And I always have a party around me, Jules.
Wow, one of your lips and one on your back's side sounds like a part. One on your back sounds like a party. Oh, this is great. It's so awesome. And I know that I shouldn't be saying this, but oh well, I take risks. Is that we put a little bit out there, or Lynn puts a little bit out there, and then
because I have the right wood. I don't have the wet wood around me.
Scott, what say you about wood?
What's this?
I had to take a call. What did I miss about making Lynn's lips loose? Jerry, just to catch you up, is that Scott, her lip lock partner, wants to create a new tribe. That's in short what it is. Yes.
Here we go.
The lip lockarians. And then also, though, Lynn that said that her butt is warming up, so it just kind of like when she said that, Scott said that.
Because Jerry, I said my butt's warming up with you right there on my back. Sounds terrible. I'm not giving a good summary. But I'm just saying, on my back for the book, we're talking about the book, and me putting these deadlines and when I want to have that book out before I leave and stuff now. Oh no, I would. Yes, you do.
Yeah, wood.
Oh, what's this? Come back, and you're talking wood. Yeah.
Yeah, we were on point, and then all of a sudden it went to heck. Yeah. And loose lips, so my mind went off the track, and now her butt is warming. You may need a new rating. Oh, Jerry, we love you.
Oh my gosh.
God.
So yeah. Anywho. No, so Jerry, I had thought about the fact that the first place I stop is going to be by Tammy Storm, and there's going to be quite a few people from the group, Tammy Storm and
Larry
and
Kim
and Sandy Archer. So I was basically saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to need that book so that I can drop it off and blah, 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 and have a book party. So now I'm giving myself like an earlier deadline. And then I said, oh man, now my butt's burning. And that's how that started.
Oh, the timing of that, Jerry, could not have been more perfect.
Oh shit! Now
Boy,
Jules
could
comes
I
up
tell
with
family stories. So,
yeah, well, yeah, you know. Matter of fact, yeah, you could. Anyhow,
hey, Jules, you see how short she was with that response right there? Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So yeah. Anyhow, we're almost out of time.
That's
hurry up! It's getting dark.
Oh my God. I gotta be honest, of our special guests that we've had on, I don't know how many of them have been like waiting a week.
Yeah.
But Larry has definitely been waiting since last Friday for tomorrow.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And he was hot when we had Ron here. So I can just imagine how he is tomorrow, man.
I mean, he was all fired up, and you could just sense it without even talking to him, like through the words. Like,
I know,
he's ready.
I know.
To go.
We're gonna have Tammy Storm on next month as well.
That's cool.
Because she's another one that at that point I'll have had Jerry, Cheryl, Tammy, like all these people I plan to meet in real life. So how cool that they'll be on our shows before I leave. That's cool. Everybody will know who they are by then.
Mm-hmm. Sis, you know I'm an English major. I can help you with your book.
Oh, if you want to read it, anybody that wants to read it beforehand, that's great, because but I'll laugh if there's typos or something in it, I guess. Yeah,
look at Larry fire.
But anyways, yeah, I'm seriously going to get on that and have something published and get that shit on the road. I don't, and I'm not going to use an excuse that I only had so many days. No, I'm just going to go with the experience. And then on the side note, I'll start writing all my thoughts about writing my first book. That it might be my second book. Who knows? But I mean, it's just, and the cool thing is, you guys, that you don't know, is that before life got really crazy for me with moving and my family and my parents in Long Island, I had a fourth grade teacher who used to put a sentence on the wall and used to make us write. And she'd only ask us to do a front page. I'd sometimes do 2 and 3 pages in the time that she gave us in 20 minutes. And I used to write things like Harry Potter stuff, because that's how creative I was back then. And I loved writing. And then life happened, and I let a lot of things burn, a lot of wet wood around that writing. And I think Brian even knows, sometimes when I write him things, you could just tell the writer in me. And I'm surprised at what I can write sometimes. So yeah, it'll be nice to truly get back to that. And the other thing I'm going to tell about myself, I kid you not, I have a big ass tote, 2 of them, with all the notebooks I've bought wanting to start writing again that are empty. And I've never thrown them away because I knew I wanted to write. So what I'm saying is this is truly opening up the Pandora box. And I was a published poem writer with Blue Mountain, except Blue Mountain would pay you, and then they would go ahead and, they wouldn't use your name. So you just, you were just a ghostwriter. So technically I'm a published but unknown poet. So again, it really will. This will mean a lot, because it's something that I have left dormant. So now that the challenge has been put out there, I'm going to have to come to the plate. And I love that. Because that one thing for me, and being an introvert, is that I've put myself around people, and I boldly have dared myself, or someone has dared me to just say and speak my truth and not hide from it. So when I say that, it's like you guys now. I mean, like me saying this, it's done. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have fun, because it's like a baking contest. You only have so much time with everything you're doing, but you're going to see. And I don't care what the finished product looks, but I'm challenging my heart and my soul to do this the best I can. And that's what life is getting out of that comfort zone to do it. So here, I thought you'd be the first one to publish a book. So
Jerry has a nice comment there, if you want to pull that up.
What does it say?
Big ass, loose lips, warm butt, and wood. Your words create my bear.
And that's what I try to do. Thank you very much. Matter of fact, I got to take a picture of that. Where is my phone? I don't have my phone.
Oh my God, it's not attached to your hip? What is this?
So it fell on the floor.
Oh.
I got to take a picture of that. There we go.
That's all.
Yep, that be me. So with that said, yeah. Anywho, you guys, we have approached all our time. I am super, super excited. I got to get back to this little bit of summit. But what do you want to say about today, Brian?
Sure. Two things. Number one, Larry, we're so honored and grateful that you'll be with us tomorrow. I love this about not knowing what we're going to run into. This is going to be awesome. The one thing I want to say about tribes is that tribes want you to stand out. The right tribes want you to stand out, right? There's no conformity. Maybe I don't perceive a tribe as conformity, right? As if like you have to adhere to these things, or when one person laughs, everybody laughs. I mean, that's conformity to me. But when you find the right tribe, everybody wants you to stand out. They want you to succeed. They want you to do things that are unimaginable. And you do them in your own way, and they never knock you down to say, well, nobody's going to like that. Nobody's going to buy that book. They don't do that when you're in the right tribe.
No.
And, Larry, we can't wait to have you on the show. If you have a graphic or a photograph of all your props and duct tape, wherever you might put your duct tape, if you want to send that to Lynn so we have that for tomorrow's introduction, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You guys are just awesome. I love you all. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here. And like Brian said earlier, sometimes it's hard to take in when people show you so much gratitude back.
Yep.
And yet it's just a humbling experience that Brian and I are trying to learn to absorb and take in. But I guarantee, for me, I get very quiet and speechless. That's when I get overwhelmed. And today I got overwhelmed because I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward to it. So what if I buy my 10 copies and I give them away? I don't give a shit. I'm going to do this. And this is going to be so exciting. I'm excited for the journey and for the challenge that's put in front of me. And again, that's what we're here. We're here to get out of our comfort zone and do what we haven't done before. And that's why we love being real and raw with you guys.
Yep.
Because if this invokes you to be the best you are, then we accomplish something.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right. And now I'm just going to put it to hey, you guys, I said January that I'd lose weight, and now you're starting to see it in my face and whatnot. It's like I didn't talk shit. I mean, you're going to realize that when I say I'm going to do something, it's done. It's freaking done. So case closed. We're out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We love you guys.
Improv Friday. See you tomorrow.
Yay, bye.